Alright everybody, after a short delay, we are back live here from Monaco in JKeSport for Tier 2. This is the Monaco Grand Prix around the Principality. One of the most prestigious tracks on the calendar. Always exciting to see. We have a few drivers out on the mediums. We have VTech and JKeSport for their first laps. Trying to get that strategy advantage with the medium tires. Just trying to get everything set up here. Okay. Just needed an audio check so we know things are good. And we have a wet race, so already some dramas. Let's find somebody on a lap. We have VTech just starting a lap, so we'll go for Ryder on Monaco. Turn 1, Sandeville, very tricky to get right in this game. Then up the hill through Beau Rivage. Should be flat out. Light braking zone at Massenet. Take a late apex there and get into the right-hander of Casino Square. Down over the bump towards Mirabeau, one of the more difficult corners on the circuit. Then into the tightest one on the entire calendar, the lowest hairpin. 360 degree 180 steering lock there, then into Portier 1 and 2 down towards the harbor, through one of the most exhilarating parts of the track, the tunnel section into the Nouvelle chicane. Very tricky to get right, and we should see quite a few incidents here tonight. As you see VTech taking it fairly well. K-Dog going top of the charts at 112.7, and then Secret with a 111.6. Everybody just setting their first initial times of the session. Here comes VTech into the final sector now. Gets on the throttle early, up to the line. Let's see what kind of time it'll be. On the medium tire, it's a 13.9, so that's provisionally P3. We got SC Smith in the Ferrari. Up next across the line, that's a 110.1, so a very competitive lap time for the Ferrari, man. Gadster is going to be next in the McLaren, rounding through Sector 3 now. Gadster is showing some good pace this season. Hasn't really had the luck to go along with it, but we know he can be competitive. And that's a 112.2 for third place overall. Trying to find the next driver. That's Johnny going third fastest. I think we have Taylor Williams, a spaceman, on the lap. He's heading in towards Sector 3 now, through to back. Very fast left-hander. And into the swimming pool section. A couple of very tricky chicanes. Oh, and he clips the wall a little bit there on exit. I imagine we'll see a fair bit of that tonight. Into the final corners and up to the line. It'll be a 117.5 for Spaceman, so provisionally P7. Let's see, we've got Chris Money about to start a lap in the other McLaren. Leclerc on an out lap as well. As well as Highways, who's rounding the final couple corners. I think we got JKeSport on the lap. Also on the medium tire, so looking for a little bit of strategy difference here compared to the rest of the grid. VTech has put a couple laps on that set of mediums he's running, so especially if we've got and Jacobs Motorsports has clipped the wall. Luckily, has not retained any damage, but he's gonna lose that lap. Luckily for him, still got plenty of time left. Let's get Chris Money on a lap into the Nouvelle chicane now. Just about misses the barrier. Even closer to the one on exit, but keeps it clean. Chris Money still yet to set a time. Very nicely done through to back. Swimming pool section, such a quick change of direction. JKeSport Motorsports puts up that 119.8. I think that was the lap where he spun around, so expect to see a more competitive time. Here comes Chris up to the line next. It's gonna be a 10.6 for second place on the grid, so that's a very solid time. Highways is going to be next across. He's invalidated. That'll be Leclerc. He's invalidated as well. It's a little bit of a lull in the action. Let's see, Jacobs Motorsports, not sure if he's pushing. Not really sure, but that's a little bit wide through there, so I don't think he'll be having a great lap. So seems to be just a few drivers coming back into the pits now, so things settling down a little bit. Looks like JKeSport Motorsports finishing up yet another lap here on the medium tires. This should be a much more competitive time, and it's a 13.2, so that puts him up into 8th place. Still not as high as he would have wanted to see. Here we got Chris Money. Yeah, he's going back into the pits. I think K-Dog is on the lap in the Haas. Currently 7th place on the grid. Through the first sector now. Does very well to keep it clean. Red Bull just secret about to start a lap, as is Monkey Mafia in the Alpine. Let's get rid of that little gear glitch. And towards the back now. Ooh, a little bit wide on that apex, but still looking good. Through the swimming pool section now and into Rascas, one of the trickier braking zones on this track. Both walls like jump out and catch you there. Up to the line, looking like a fairly decent time. Let's see what kind of time it is, and it's a 12.2 for 6th place. I think we have the Alpha of JKeSport Motorsports. He's finishing up another lap, but he's well off the pace, so just setting himself up for another one. I think VTech is about to start a new lap. Highway's coming back into the pits. Leclerc still yet to set a time, but he's coming around to start his next run. That's just S.C. Smith in the Ferrari. That's right on board with Secret, who's going through a lap at the moment. Very close to the barrier at sector, or on the inside of the swimming pool, but keeps it nice and clean. Oh, a little bit wide in Rascas, but he keeps it off the wall, which is important, and he's going to abandon that lap and head into the pits. Couple McLarens behind. I think Monkey Mafia is on a lap into Rascas now. Still yet to set the time, so he's going to want to get one on the board here. Just past halfway through the session. And that's 9th place with a 12.6, so a solid time there. Here's VTech in the Haas, running on the soft tire now. So abandon that medium set. Monkey Mafia's had an issue at turn 1. Hopefully that shouldn't cause a problem. VTech going up to 4th place on the grid. Let's get on board with Leclerc. Next, oh, and he's invalidated again. That is not going to be what he wants. Luckily, he's got plenty of time to improve. But here's S.C. Smith, purple through the 2nd sector. Around the final Anthony Knox corner and up to the line. Can he break the 109s? He improves, but not enough to get into the 9s. Still a very solid time. Chris Money's about to start a lap. Let's get back with JKeSport Motorsports. Is he still riding on that medium set? Goes well through the Nouvelle chicane. It's back as well, 5th gear. Shelly the Turtle up to second place in the Mercedes. Just noticed that as we were tracking them. There's Monkey Mafia. He's invalidated, setting himself up for another lap. Chris Money is invalidated as well. He's going back into the pits. I think we have Johnny about to start a lap as well. Leclerc did set a time, so he's up to 7th place. Oh, a little bit into the wall through the hairpin. Not sure if he picked up damage, but it seems to be okay. Purple in the middle sector once again. Oh, and he spun around at Raskas. Oh, that's unfortunate. He's going to lose his lap, and I think he's back to rear wing the wall. He's certainly got front wing damage now. Luckily, he should have enough time to get another lap in. Highway's about to start a lap as well, as I think Monkey Mafia just behind. He's out of ERS, so luckily getting set to charge up for another lap. Here's Johnny through the 3rd sector. He's not pushing either. JKeSport's on and out lap, as is Secret and the Red Bull behind. I think we have K-Dog on a lap. She is just over half a tenth up through the 1st sector. And she's abandoned that lap. There's the McLaren behind. I think that is Skadster getting set for a lap. Let's get on board with Highways through the new chicane, and he's invalidated. Very easy point to invalidate the lap. I'm sure we'll see that quite a few times tonight. Monkey Mafia, I believe he's on a push lap. We'll see what his sector 2 split. Oh, and he's missed the apex a little bit. Managed to keep it clean though. Does not seem to be pushing. We'll go back to JKeSport, which is now switched to a fresh set of softs. And that's an invalidation form. Luckily, still 3.5 minutes left to go. There's just Secret in the Red Bull. Down into the chicane. Everybody attacking that entrance to the chicane. Compromising their exits a little bit, but definitely might be worth it, especially if you're trying to defend from someone behind. Secret looking to have a very competitive lap time here. Up to the line, and it's an improvement up to 5th place, so a very solid lap time there. VTech about to start a lap as Gadster is coming across the line to finish, and he goes 3rd place on the grid, just ahead of his McLaren teammate Chris Money. So that's a very good lap time there. Leclerc starting a lap, Highway's finishing up one, but he's 3/10 up, so he's headed back into the pits. I think that is, oh, Spaceman spun around at the chicane, at the hairpin, and he's in the wall. That's not going to be good for his lap. He might have enough time to get in and back out again. Shelly the Turtle sitting set for an out lap. So everyone getting prepared for their final runs of the session. I believe VTech on the lap. He's not on the lap here. Let's see if Leclerc is pushing. It seems like he may be. We know he's got the pace. He was the race winner a couple weeks ago in China. Very nicely through the Nouvelle chicane. He's going to need to pick up quite a bit of time if he wants to be near the front tonight. Purple's the middle sector, 7/10 up, so this could be a very good time. Nearly invalidates, but keeps it clean. Into Raskas. Seemed to be a bit tentative through there, but still looked good. and he's backed off that time. So a little bit of strategy, maybe getting set for another run. I think we've got K-Dog across the line starting a lap. And there's VTech getting his final run set to go. JKeSport Motorsports on his out lap as well. Just about enough time. Spaceman's invalidated, and here's Johnny a couple tenths up on his time. Currently 9th place validated, so setting himself up for a lap as well. Here's Leclerc. He's over a second down on his time, so could be on track for a top position here. He's going to have a little bit of traffic in front of him, and don't think that'll impede him too much. Maybe even give him a little bit of slipstream down the pit straight. Up to the line, here's Leclerc, 4th place with a 110.6. So very tight there from 3rd to 5th. I think next is going to be K-Dog across the line. Cannot improve from 11th place. And Scats are behind as well. Here's JKeSport Motorsports next to cross. 1/10 up through the first 2 sectors. And JKeSport Motorsports cannot improve from 10th. There's S.C. Smith. Can he challenge Shelley for pole? He only needs to improve a couple tenths, and he does. So S.D. Smith going top of the charts, a 109.5. I don't think we'll see anybody challenge that. Spaceman's invalidated on his lap. Let's go to Just Secret. He's invalid as well. Leclerc, he is invalid. I don't think he was pushing anyway. I think that is going to be it for this session. S.C. Smith taking pole position at 109.5. Couple tenths over Shelley. So we have our grid set for, I believe, what will be a wet race tonight, which is going to make things even more interesting. Alright, so our qualifying session coming to a close. One last run through the grid order for tonight. S.C. Smith on pole. Shelley the Turtle will start 2nd. Scadster 3rd. Leclerc 4th. Chris Monty 5th. Johnny will start 6th. Highway 7th. Secret 8th. VTech 9th. JKeSport Motorsports rounding out the top 10. K-Dog starting 11th. Monkey Mafia 12th. And Spaceman in 13th. But as we know here in Monaco, it's a lot more about finishing the race than being quick. "39 laps, especially in the rain conditions. It's going to be a challenge for these drivers tonight." Yep, Jacob, Kevin, you got some work to do, but still a lot can happen. You never know around this track. We do have some rain. It appears to just be some slight rain, but nothing too crazy. Alright, looks like we're about set to get underway here from Monaco. Is it that dry, Monkey? I was going to say, it seems to be about that point where it's raining but not quite wet enough for intermediates, because it doesn't seem to be too slick out there, or too wet out there, but and depending on the forecast, it might be worth it, because I've had races like that before where it will be raining but it will not be wet enough for inters, so that's definitely a possibility. Looks like the predicted strategy is intermediates. Let's take a look at what everybody's done. And everybody has elected for the intermediate tire. So everybody believes it is wet enough, but still a lot can happen and a lot can change. Okay, some things taken care of here. Alright, let's do one last look through the grid. SC Smith will start on pole, Shelly the Turtle alongside in second, Scatster behind in third, Leclerc fourth, Chris Money fifth, Johnny will start sixth, Highways in seventh, 8th place is Just Secret, 9th place VTech, 10th place Jacobs, 11th place K-Dog, Monkey Mafia, and Spaceman rounding out the grid. So we've had, oh, and that's Leclerc around already, so struggles on the formation lap. You can see just how difficult the conditions are. And it may be easier in the rain due to the speed, but I mean, the lack of grip and the adjustment, like for the braking points and everything, it's a little bit, it can be a little bit tricky to deal with, but the going slower definitely will be easier, especially if you're, talking about end plate damages and things like that. But it'll be a battle of endurance tonight as we come through the final couple of corners. Does seem to be fairly light, so I'm not sure if we will see it dry up at any point, but for now, everybody on a set of intermediate tires. Alright, let's get to the front of the grid as the rest of the field comes through the final couple of corners. Not liking this camera angle too much, but we'll get ready. Hopefully we keep it clean through turn 1. There we go. We've got 5 lights and we're off here in Monaco. Looks like it's a good start from SC Smith. Oh, just about keeps it off the wall. Highways gets a little bit loose through the back of the pack. They all managed to keep it a bit clean. JKeSport Motorsports already making up some spots around the outside. I think that's KO going side by side with someone else back there, but they follow through. That's Scatster up into the race lead. Someone is off. That's Leclerc who's struggling, and he's into the wall. Yellow flag, but it doesn't seem to be anything too serious. SC Smith and Just Secret having a bit of connectivity issues going side by side into Mirabeau. SC Smith already down to 4th position. Shelly the Turtle up into 2nd. As they file in towards the Lowe's hairpin, Scatster has come out the winner. Oh, he's clipped the wall there. SC Smith running a bit wide, JKeSport Motorsports cutting the corner, everybody else filing in. Spaceman has made up a place on Monkey Mafia, but the field seeming to have everything under control. Shelly the Turtle's making up ground, he's going to go past Scatster. Scatster's got the missing an end plate, side by side through the tunnel, and Shelly's into the race lead. Here comes Secret as well for 2nd place into the chicane. He should have this done due to the damage, and Scatster is quickly dropping back. Let's see if SC Smith can find his way through. Ooh, Scatster a little bit into the wall. I think he's going to just about hang on to the position. SC Smith has forced to back out. That would have been a tough place to make a move. JKeSport Motorsports already up to 6th place. Is that Monkey Mafia who's had an issue at the chicane? Yes, it has, but he seems to be okay. So a lot of chaos in the opening lap. Things starting to settle down. JKeSport Motorsports, oh, a little bit of contact, and there's a Ferrari of SC Smith around. So SC Smith showed great pace in qualifying, but struggling here in the race. Another yellow flag as Scatster is into the pits. As SC Smith will follow him in. So perhaps the rain catching these drivers out a little bit. JKeSport Motorsports up behind Chris Money, this for 3rd place. You can see just how little grip is out there right now. But the top 2 have started to stretch their legs a little bit. Johnny is on the back of Jacobs Motorsports as well. This is the battle for third at the moment. Everybody being so tentative. Monkey Mafia have managed to regain after that incident. Leclerc is out of the session already. K-Dog has dropped off the pack as well. Not sure if anything happened there, but everybody's starting to get settled in. A little bit of a train here starting to form behind Chris Money in third. We've got a couple trains here. Chris Money now opening up the gap a little bit. But everything's starting to settle down. We can finally take a breath. Jacobs Motorsports cutting the chicane a little bit. It seems to be okay for the moment. K-Dog and Skadster having a battle. I think K-Dog is missing, might be missing an end plate. Is that Highways who's had an issue? Oh no, that's Spaceman who's gone backwards at the chicane, but he's gotten it straightened down and he's kept his wing clean. So it's all good from there. Oh, and Johnny's around now in Sector 3. So lots of drivers having issues here with maybe the wet weather catching him out. He's managed to not damage his end plate. Penalties all across the board. And he's finally got back going. Drops down to 9th place. VTEC is up to 5th. Chasing down Jacobs Motorsport. Cutting the corner a little bit. He might have gotten away with that. But he's going to need to be a little bit closer in order to make a move. Another yellow flag. That is Johnny who's gone into the pits. Get back up to the battle for 4th. Jacobs Motorsports with an early penalty already. So VTEC will have the advantage. 3 more drivers back into the pits for their stop this time around. Oh, and that Spaceman around again at the exit of the casino. He's got Skadster coming through as well. I'm not sure if he's got any front wing damage, but if he as long as he can keep it going, he'll be in a decent position. Back up at the front, Shelly the Turtle has opened up a little bit of a gap. Just Secret now sitting in 2nd place. Chris Money in 3rd, and Jacobs Motorsports from 10th on the grid up to 4th here on lap 3. So looking on for a strong finish. He does have that penalty, but towards the end of this race, as the field starts to spread out, I think we'll see that become less of an issue. VTEC starting to close up in this group as well, making it a 3-way battle for the final podium position at the moment. Jacobs Motorsports a little bit tentative through there. VTEC looking around the outside, thought better of it. That was always going to be a difficult place to make a move. He's going to have to wait at least for another lap. Chris Money trying to scamper away from this group. SC Smith making a move past K-Dog through the tunnel. Back up to VTEC. He's keeping tabs with Jacobs. They can't quite find enough room. Oh, Chris Money a little bit deep into Mirabeau, but he keeps it okay. This driver's doing fairly okay now, starting to get settled in with the conditions. Looking to get a handle of how the car is handling. I think we'll see the pace start to increase as these guys get a handle on it. Oh, there's Chris Money. He's missing his front right end plate. So that seems to be the cause of these understeer issues. Can they make a way through? Oh, he's into the wall again. Jacobs Motorsports is going to sneak by. I don't think VTEC is going to have the opportunity to. And he's going to have to sit behind at least for another couple of corners. This is going to allow Jacobs Motorsports to clear away a gap a little bit. Chris Money is so tentative through to back. And VTEC, he's so much quicker at the moment, but he's just got nowhere to go. You can see the delta he's losing to Jacob ahead. It's just one of those unfortunate things. We'll surely see Chris Money pull off into the pits, as we expected. So a new front wing change for the McLaren driver. So McLaren, after a strong start in qualifying, a little bit of a rocky start to this race, but still seeming to be okay. Monkey Mafia back up into 6th place after having that incident on the first lap. But he seems to have recovered well and is in a decent spot at the moment. We've got another yellow flag. And I think that's Spaceman having another issue out at Portier. I think he's got it going again, so that's good for him. VTEC has now cleared the traffic and is looking to chase down Jacobs Motorsport. These guys have a bit of a distance between them and the top 2, so they've got some work to do to get back up in contention for the race win, but Still a podium still in sight for VTech. He's cleared a couple of tenths here in just the last few sections of the track, so seemingly having some good pace tonight. JKeSport as well, running a good race in second. He's also started to close the gap down to Shelly ahead quite significantly this lap, actually. Trying to see if Shelly has any damage. Does not seem like it, but Secret has gotten that gap within 4 seconds. Another yellow flag. That is Williams off again at Rascasse. Seems like we've got it all cleared off though. Back to green flag running. VTech now nearly within a second of Jacob Motorsport ahead. It's the end of one of the trickier corners in the dry, but even trickier in the wet. You can see VTech having some strong pace early on in this race. Another yellow flag. That's K-Dog going slowly in the tunnel. I think she's got it figured out though. Jacob's still hanging on to third. He's just got to be fast in the right places, and I think he'll be able to hang on. Is that Monkey Mafia? Monkey Mafia is around after turn 4, so... Oh, I think he's just lost his front wing there. Unfortunately, he's going to get it back going. He'll still maintain 7th place, but Chris Money is going to be coming up behind. Chris Money having to box for that wing change a few laps ago. Let's get back to this battle for third. K-Dog back into the pits for a new wing. Oh, there's Jacob Motorsport a little bit wide through to back. Keeps it managed okay. VTech looking good. He thought about a lunge up the inside of Rascasse, but thought better of it. And he might have a chance down the main straight. Of course, no DRS in the rain, which is going to further hinder the opportunity into turn 1. But it is still very much there. Oh, that's K-Dog coming out of the pits very nearly on the racing line there. We're not sure the entirety of the forecast. We just know we have some rain. Oh, Jacob Motorsport into the wall again. Running a little bit deep there in Casino. I can't tell if he got any damage from that. Does not look like it. VTech looked to the inside but couldn't find a way through. Monkey Mafia back into the pits for a wing change, as we anticipated. Nearly bump drafting through the hairpin there. Shelly the Turtle crucially with a 3-second penalty there. As Monkey Mafia has dropped behind Johnny as well. And I think he's going to lose out to SC Smith, who will move up in the 9th place. Things starting to settle down a little bit. This is the closest battle on track. VTech picking up a 3-second penalty, so I think that'll put him on level terms with Jacob ahead. We run standard and standard for damage, so still early on, but yeah, only one driver out. So these guys handling these tricky conditions well. I mean, Monaco already a difficult track, but especially in the rain. Oh, there's VTech around. He's managed to keep it off the wall. That's a brilliant save from there from the Haas driver. Kept it off the wall again. But a little bit of a rocky run through there, and he's lost almost 2 seconds to Jacob ahead, which is not going to be good. Now JKeSport, he's still putting in some pretty good, decent lap times, and he can tell, he knows Shelly has that 3 seconds ahead of him, so he's just got to maintain that gap. Guessing we're going to get to the pit stop phase of this race in about 10 laps or so. So maybe a little bit of strategy with an undercut or overcut possibility there, or maybe even could even see a 0 stop be an option here, especially in the wet with the mandatory compound change not being a problem. Not sure if that will be a viable strategy around here. We'll get back to VTech. You can see how much pace he's got at the moment. He's brought back almost a second on that gap that he lost a couple minutes ago. But he's back almost within range of Jacob again. He's just going to want to be pressuring Jacob at the moment, looking to force him into a mistake that he can capitalize on. That's the best way to overtake around here. Appreciate it, Guirud. I'm Scabney. Run some comms for tonight. Glad to hear you're enjoying it. Skadster picking up a 3-second time penalty. So the McLaren's back in a very solid position. The only team with both drivers in the points at the moment. But VTEC looking strong here. These guys dropping back a little bit off the top to seem to be the class of the field at the moment. Could just come down towards the end of the race. A little bit of strategy, and if anyone's going to make a mistake. I'm not sure if we'll see a safety car, because I believe there is a glitch on this game where at Monaco where there's no safety cars due to anything. Oh, is that Monkey Mafia around at the chicane again? So Monkey Mafia not having the best of days today, but he's still running in 10th, so could be on for a good day. Is that Highways now having issues? Looks like he's outbraking himself at Mirabeau. Does not appear to have any damage, so he'll carry on. Still maintaining 5th place as well, but he's going to drop off quite a bit to those two ahead of him, who are still battling for 3rd. Both these guys doing a good job of just maintaining the pace and avoiding any mistakes. Oh, Jacob Motorsports runs a little bit deep into the back. VTEC looking up the inside. He's going to send it through the swimming pool. And that would have been a very daring move. Very great driving from these guys to avoid an incident. Love to see it. That was insane through there. Jacob Motorsports finally did make a mistake that VTEC was looking for, but it was at the one spot where you can't capitalize. And he went for it, but just was not able to. I was not expecting them to both make it through there okay. But here we are. VTEC closer than he's ever been. Coming up on the lap car, Monkey Mafia should be ghosted, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Oh, VTEC is right there. Just got to set himself up for some alternate lines and make it through. So these guys just starting to settle in. They've been like this for the past few laps. Skadster now starting to close to the back of Highways. Highways might have had another issue as he's going very slowly. Ooh, around the outside into Mirabeau, and that's a nice move done there from Skadster. Up into 5th place, so did very well in qualifying. Didn't have the greatest of starts to the race, but he's worked himself back up into 5th, and with a little luck could be on for a nice points finish today. Yep, glad to see you're sticking around there. We would love to see it. Oh, and is that another spin through? That was Spaceman having a bit of an issue in the tunnel. He's got it okay, managed to stick it out, so that's what we like to see. VTEC is still pressuring Jacobs. That's one of the more difficult things to do, is drive when you've got a quick driver pressuring up on the outside. Oh, he might have a chance. Motorsport, Jacob gets a little bit squirrely on the exit of the sound vote. Is VTEC going to find enough room? Oh, we could have maybe sent it up the inside, but he decides not to. Would have been a risky move either way. And he'll just hang out in 4th position at the moment. Chris Money now in the other McLaren, closing up the back of Highways. This will be for 6th place on track. Chris Money having slightly fresher intermediates after making that early pit stop for a wing change. We know he's got some pace, and he might have an opportunity to take advantage of another position. Skadster even starting to close up on that 3rd and 4th place battle. Just about within that 1 second window at the moment now. Now the yellow flag. Is that Shelly the Turtle who's had an incident out of the final corner? And yes, it is. I don't see any wing damage, but that is going to give Secret the lead. And now he'll have the opportunity to show his true pace. Just about 1 second ahead. Oh, Chris Money and Highways having a battle at the chicane. Jacobs Motorsport into the pit as well. We did see him pick up another penalty, so everything's starting to kick off again. Highways slipping a bit through the field. Chris Money up into 6th position. Still got a ways to go to chase down his teammate just ahead. But here we have, is that Jacob Motorsport's in for a wing change, so I don't think that'll be the last for these guys tonight. We did see Shelly the Turtle having a bit of an incident out of the final corner in that last lap. So just Secret gaining about 5 seconds and taking the race lead as Jacob comes back out in 7th place. just behind Highways, which is not going to be what he wants. So Shelley now in second. Very good pace in qualifying, starting P2, and has shown to be pretty good still carry over in this race. Oh, a little bit squirrely on that run into Tabac. Keeps the car okay. So Williams, I think that Spaceman having some issues at the chicane. Jacobs and Highways around at Mirabeau, and he's lost his piece of his front wing as well. So that's the second time tonight he's had an incident there. We'll have to come in for another wing change. Spaceman out of the session. So down to 11 runners here. Shelley is closer than he's ever been to Secret. Oh, just about into the wall on the exit of Saint-Deveau. But he keeps it okay. Still hanging out right there. VTEC is into the pits. Presumably for a wing change off the podium position. Let's take a look at the Haas picker. Can't quite tell. No wing change, just a set of fresh inters, so perhaps a strategy play there. S.E. Smith is close up to the back of Johnny. This for 8th place. S.E. Smith had that really good lap in qualifying that landed in pole position, but has not had the best of luck in the race, falling back early and still struggling now in 9th place. But he's still on for some decent points tonight, and if he can get his way past Johnny here, as Highways loses a couple more places in the pits, he's got quite a few seconds of open air up ahead. Back to the front two. These two leaders, they've been neck and neck this entire time, and now they've got a window behind them. As you see, Secret into the pits. So it's a bit interesting that we're seeing everybody get their pit stops out of the way early. Perhaps we'll see a dry stint at the end of the race, and everybody just trying to split the wet stint at the moment, or going for an undercut. But we'll see how this plays out. We'll keep on board with Shelley here. We'll see. I'm presuming we'll see him cover off Secret's pit stop this time by. We'll have to see what the delta is due to the undercut. VTEC is just behind Skadster as well on the much fresher intermediates. Let's see if he can make a move down the straight. He gets a good exit. He's pretty close to the rear gearbox of Skadster here. Look to the inside, but there was not going to be enough room. Ooh, Skadster goes a little bit deep into turn one, a little bit into the wall. Don't know if he's picked up any damage there, but VTEC is still not able to take advantage. Through the middle sector, he might have enough space if he can take advantage of a mistake. Oh, there goes Skadster a little bit deep. VTEC can go side by side up the inside and towards Mirabeau. Has to back out of that. That was going to be a tight move. All right, let's get back to Shelley here. Let's see if he comes into the pits to cover off the Red Bull strategy. You can see the delta starting to come down between the two leaders. Actually, oh, a little bit deep into Raskas again. Just as I was saying, the delta does not actually seem to be as much as I expected, and Shelley has stayed out, so not electing to cover it off. Highways is out of the session in the pit lane, so not a great race for him. Ooh, Skadster making a little bit of a mistake at the chicane, struggling for the traction. Here comes VTEC to the outside, and Skadster's going to back out of that. He knows side by side through Tabac is not going to work out. And now Chris Money is just behind as well, and they're dragging Jacob up into this battle. So now a four-way battle for the final podium place. There goes Skadster into the pit. Maybe having some wing damage or just getting another pit stop out of the way. This is going to give VTEC an opportunity to clear this gap a little bit between Chris and Jacob, who are fighting for 4th at the moment. Skadster back out on a fresh set of intermediates. It's the closest battle on track, and now you can see at the top of the charts, Secret starting to minimize that gap a little bit. So he's definitely within the window where he will come back out in the race lead after Shelley makes his pit stop. So Jacob, he's been on the opposite end of a battle like this, and now he's got to try to pressure Chris into a mistake. Oh, he had a good exit and he spun around. He's into the barriers. He's managed to keep his car alive, but he's lost his entire front wing, and that's going to not be fun to get back into the pit lane with, as we see Shelley is boxed for a fresh set of tires, and he's rejoining the track now. It looks like he's going to come out behind the Red Bull Secret. We'd expect him to close back up with the fresher set of tires. That will also benefit him towards the end of the second stint. Another yellow flag, and I think that's Jacob having a bit of issue with no wing at the chicane. He's got, I think, K-Dog and S.E. Smith, who are a bit behind. There's S.E. Smith, and this is 4th position. Jacob knows that's not his fight, and S.E. Smith moves up into 6th. Still yet to make his second stop of the race. Boxed early after that early incident, but surely we'll have to make another stop. At the moment, we'll just keep an eye on that gap at the front of the leaderboard. Secret crucially keeping his race clean with no penalties, so that is only going to help his case. But Shelley is making up ground as well. Johnny back into the pits, so the second stop of the day for his Williams driver. Shelley making up some significant ground. He's narrowed the gap down to about 2 seconds now. And he may not even have to overtake Secret at the moment, because he's got that 3-second penalty, but if he manages to force Secret into picking up a penalty, then he can just wait for a mistake at some point later on in the race to make his move. But the rest of the grid's starting to even out and find their rhythm. You can see him drifting through the middle sector almost. Lost a bit of ground there. You can see the Secret looks to be pretty strong through the middle sector. You can see in that tunnel, these conditions, you have usually a flat out corner. You can see these drivers having to lift ever so slightly. Ever so close to the wall through to back. Just Secret running a phenomenal race at the moment. One of only 4 drivers to keep it clean without a penalty. Let's get back down towards the bottom of the midfield. Here's Johnny. He's running 8th at the moment. He's had a couple incidents, but he's had a fairly solid race on a fresh set of intermediate tires, so he'll be in position to gain a net position or 2 by the end of the race. And he's starting to close up to the back of Jacob Motorsports ahead with a purple first sector. So definitely having some solid pace, as you see VTEC going actually purple on the last lap. And just keep an eye on the gap. He's got 12 seconds to go, but with still over 20 laps to go in this race, he can most definitely make up that gap. Another yellow flag. Is that Shelley the Turtle losing a bit of time? Everything seems to be okay, but he did drop outside that 3-second window of the race lead, so perhaps a moment through the hairpin. And we'll just keep an eye on VTEC's pace. He has just posted the fastest lap of the race, so he'll be one to keep an eye on here towards the second half of the race. Ooh, Shelley drifting through Raskow's corner. Oh, and he's into the wall. Oh, that didn't look good, but the front wing still seems to be okay, although he might be missing a little bit of downforce on that front right end plate. You can see he's dropped off a little bit more. Monkey Mafia back into the pits. But here's Johnny starting to close up to Jacob at the moment. Now within 2 seconds ahead. He might be within range to make a move pretty quickly. A little bit squirrely through to back, but keeping it clean. And if we look back at VTech, he's now within 10 seconds of the lead group. Shelley picking up another 3-second penalty, so that's going to hinder his progress even more. So quite a few drivers picking up some penalties early on in this race. And Shelley might have been impacted by that incident coming out of the final corners. Now the gap has almost doubled, now over 5 seconds. Definitely losing out some time, and he's going to have to come into the pits. So that's not what he wanted. Yep, going for a front wing change. So this is going to release VTech. He's going for a set of medium tires. Not sure if that's a strategy play or if the track is going to dry up here. It does seem like the rain is getting a bit lighter, but it's still definitely coming down. So this is going to be interesting to see. He's got a little bit of a gap. It definitely looks very slick for those mediums. Let's see how he fares on the pit exit. Doesn't seem to be too bad, but this, you can see there's just no grip going up the hill. We'll keep an eye on this. Sky does seem to be lightening, so perhaps a dry stint coming towards the end of the race tonight. You can see he's losing quite a lot of time, even just through that little section there. Now the gap between the leaders, only 11.5 seconds. And it is shrinking. So VTech looking to be the fastest driver on track at the moment. Will it be enough to get him a race win? He might have an opportunity here. Let's get back to this battle for 7th. Two drivers who have had a roller coaster of a night. Jacobs and Johnny. 7th and 8th at the moment. Still hanging about within just about 1 second of each other. Shelley picking up another time penalty. And those medium tires just are not ready. Chris Money has found himself back up in 3rd. It's gone quite a while on this set of intermediates. So that could be a good strategy for him if it does end up drying out. As the track does seem to be lightening up in the clouds around here. We'll have to wait and see on that. Johnny got me a bit too far back this time, but he is within that range. And Shelley's back in, so he's abandoned the medium experiment. Perhaps that was an accidental switch, but he's lost out quite a bit of time. Still going to come out in 6th place. And on a fresh set of tires, so he should still regain some time. But here's Johnny just behind Jacob once again. Jacob is just fast in the right areas, and he's been able to maintain that position. Oh, Johnny cutting the corner a little bit. There's Jacob into the wall, and this is going to give Johnny the opportunity to get by. And that is probably going to force a wing change. The left end plate still seems to be there, but it could have picked up some minor damages. That understeer did not look fun through there. VTech has closed the gap down to just about 9 seconds now. And Chris Money is in. He's getting off this set of intermediates for a fresh set of inters. So did about 16 laps. That's what we expected here. We'll see where he rejoins. I think it's going to be just ahead of his teammate. It's going to be close to the moment. Here comes Skadster down the pit straight now. Oh, there's Chris Money. Oh, that was so close. But Skadster just about gets by. So up into 3rd place. Oh, Chris Money picks up 3 seconds for cutting on the pit entry. I know that, or pit exit. I know that is a glitch. So that may be reviewed. We've got Jacob. He did look like he picked up wing damage in that collision with the wall, but he's maintained his position with Johnny, at least for the moment. But don't look now. Let's get up to the front of the field. VTech is within 7 seconds, and that gap is closing rapidly. He's got a penalty window of 3 seconds to clear, but if he can get by quickly enough, he might have an opportunity for the race win. Does seem to be gaining quickly. To answer your question, it's fairly likely. All it would take is one no-show. I can't make any promises, but I will say there's definitely a chance. But let's get back to the battling on track. Chris Money, fresh set of intermediates. Coming up with his teammate, maybe with a team watershed. These guys fighting for a podium though, so could see a gloves off attitude there. A little bit of a glitch through there. There's a Haas around. It was that VTech who's had a moment, and he has. Has he lost his end plate? Yes. Oh no, VTech. He was looking on pace to win this race, but surely he's gonna have to come in for a fresh set of tires then, and to get an end plate change. He was looking so strong. Shelley's back in once again. So I think VTech, he may actually have an opportunity. He may be able to come back out in second at the moment, but he's going to be losing a lot of time now with. So Shelley, after having a strong first half of the race, now down to 8th place. So Scats are looking in a pretty decent spot at the moment. He might be able to get in, if he can push a little bit more on this lap, he might have an opportunity to jump VTech, especially with that wing change that they're going to have to do at the Haas pit box. So we could see an overtake for second, which would turn into a nice little scrap at the end of the race with Chris Money joining in as well. I think that's Monkey Mafia going slowly at the swimming pool. He's not had the best of races, but he's sticking it out and is sitting in 9th place. So let's see where VTech comes out. I think it's going to be just ahead of the McLarens. But we'll see as they go through the first turn, and he just about will get out ahead. So a nice job staying in that second place. And on that fresh set of tires, he might be able to maintain the position through the rest of the race. So with a three-way battle for second place. Different levels of time. There's the team orders from the McLarens. So releasing Chris Money to fight VTech for second. Chris having just boxed for a new set of tires as well. Getting towards the business stage of this race. K-Dog back in the pits. Change those intermediate tires once again. VTech has already cleared the McLarens by 2 seconds. Chris has some pace. We'll see if he can stick with the Haas driver just ahead. And he's made up a 10th already. But now the race seems to be seemingly in the hands of Secret at the moment. He's got the race lead, and he's just got to keep things clean and avoid any incidents, and he'll be on track for a very good race win. Even if he were to pick up wing damage, he should have the delta to be able to maintain the race lead. Let's get back down to 6th place. Jacob Motorsport, another one of those drivers having an up and down race, but he's still hanging out within the range of chasing down Johnny. How about this? We've got SC Smith, 22 laps on this set of intermediates. Very interesting, because we would have expected to see him in already. So could we see him hanging out to go to a set of dries towards the end of this race? He's currently sitting in 5th, so he's in a good position. He doesn't seem to be dropping too much pace. He's got the window behind where he can come back out if he needs to. Looking like he's in a good spot at the moment. Here's Secret into the pits. So VTech is going to know the actual delta that he needs to chase down, as well as Chris Money, who's going to be keeping an eye on that as well. See where Secret comes out. It'll be well ahead of VTech. He's managed to keep a fairly large gap. So he's still got a decent margin ahead. VTech does set the fastest lap of the race, but he's going to be running out of laps as SC Smith finally into the pits. So presumably hanging out for as long as possible, going to a fresh set of injuries now for the final 13 laps of the race. Gap's starting to even out a little bit here as we get towards the final stage of the race. Everybody's starting to settle in. Was something happened with SC Smith? Or is this just him being released out of the pit lane? He's come out just ahead of Johnny behind. But he's got those fresh tires, so I think he will be able to hang on to the position. Put together a nice race after that poor start he had. We know he has pace based on the results he put up in qualifying, but sitting in 5th at the moment, he's got an awfully long way to go if he wants to make up any more positions. Johnny's got a chance here. He's not right there, but he's within the window. Just doesn't have the straight line speed he needs. VTech picking up another penalty, and that's 9 seconds now for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th runners, which could play into the hands of SC Smith. Podium not out of the question yet. Keep an eye on the gap at the front. It's now within 11 seconds. So VTech is closing, but he's going to have to close a little bit more than he's been in the last few laps. Scattered with another penalty, so that puts him ever closer to the range of for SC Smith. Let's get on with VTech. Now within 10 seconds. Still not out of the question, and still a lot can happen in the last 12 laps, so could see some late race drama here. I'm putting in another fastest lap, so absolutely flying at the moment. The Secret has to be keeping an eye on this. And you can see the delta just shrinking with every apex. It's just going to be a matter if he can catch in time. He's got an awful long way to go to clear those penalties, even if he does make it up there. So, not sure there will be enough time left for him, but you never know around this track. Back now to the battle for 5th. Johnny has managed to stick with SC Smith, despite being on much older tires. Oh, SC Smith running a little bit deep in the casino. Is Johnny going to make a move up the inside into Mirbeau? He had a look. SC Smith running deep again, but there's just not enough room to get it through right there. Smith seeming to struggle a little bit on this fresh set of tires in these conditions. Got a yellow flag. I think that's Shelly the Turtle having an incident at turn 1. But he's got it going again. Still a few battles heating up across the grid. This is still the closest on track, and I believe penalties are equal at the moment, so this is a pure fight for position. There will be 10 laps to go this time by. Make that 11. As Jacob back into the pits. So he had a strong start to this race, but he's been struggling as of late. Another wing change for the Alfa Romeo driver. Here's VTech. Closing the gap down to about 8 seconds at the moment. Don't think he's closing quite quickly enough to make an impact. So look, I believe we have 7 drivers left on the lead lap as it stands. Shelley's gone into a set of softs again, so we'll see if he's going for another experiment or if it's been a mistake once again, but it's definitely still raining, so I think we'll see these intermediates all the way to the end of the race. Battle for 5th is still hanging around. SC Smith not been able to pull away. He's going to soar past Shelley the Turtle. You can see how shiny those soft tires look. Well, is that a McLaren around? That is Chris Money who's had an incident. Something seems to be very odd there. Not sure if that's some kind of mechanical issue or lag, but that is very strange. I've never seen anything like that. Perhaps a wheel issue for Chris, as he's got things going again, but he's dropped down to 6th place, so that is very unfortunate. Not quite sure what that's all about, and he's still having issues. I've never seen anything like that. Anyway, let's get back to the action. Now this is the battle for 4th. Don't think it'll end up being a battle for a podium position, but you never know. You can see Shelley, yeah, those soft tires definitely not working out. Johnny's still hanging out within the window as he has been for the last few laps. Oh, and Chris has been disqualified. Yeah, that was... I'm not sure what happened there. That was something I had never seen. Almost looked like a wheel failure. But regardless, we're down to 9 runners in this race. This is the closest battle on track at the moment. VTech is still closing the gap down to 6.5 seconds now. Johnny's just been here. He's not been able to make a move, but he's just been keeping SC Smith honest about his racing at the moment. Still 4th and 5th. I can't think of a single driver who's not been involved in an incident tonight. So definitely one of those races where one mistake won't count you out. Oh, SC Smith always clipped the inside wall a little bit. Luckily he keeps it going. I don't think Johnny's going to be able to capitalize. Although he gets a much better exit and he's going to be closer than he's ever been. Is he going to take a look? I see Smith getting a good run down the straight, and that's going to be able to just be enough to keep the place. So that was the opportunity. But still was not quite enough. VTech is now within 5 seconds of Secret ahead. He's definitely got the pace, but I don't think he's going to have the time. He's got a really good run out of the final corner now. Without that DRS though, he just can't quite get the move down the straight. So this has to be... Oh, he's gone deep and he's gone to the wall. Again, the wing looks okay, but that seemed to be a fairly heavy impact. He's got 30-second gap to Jacob behind, so he can afford to either gut it out or quickly change the wing, but it's got to be agonizing hanging out. It's ever so close, but not enough. Oh, and Johnny's picked up a penalty, so that is going to be crucial now, as he's going to have to clear 3 seconds if he wants to overtake SC Smith, which I don't think he's going to be able to do with only 5 laps remaining, although if he is able to find a way through, he just about might. So let's stick with the penalties up on the charts, as everybody running fairly similar intermediates at the moment. VTEC now within 2 seconds, and Secret has picked up a 3-second penalty, so this race is not over for the lead. I think VTEC is going to eventually be able to catch up to Secret before the end of the race. It'll just be a matter of how long it takes him to get through. Johnny, he appears to be okay with his front wing, even after hitting that wall coming out of turn 1. He's managed to keep the gap fairly alright. It's just about that as it has been for the last few laps. But now VTEC within 2 seconds of Secret ahead. Only 5 laps remaining, however, so he's going to have to get this move done quickly. He seems to have much better pace at the moment. Got a yellow flag. I think that's K-Dog having an issue, as is Shelly the Turtle and Mirabeau, and K-Dog on the pit straight. So it's been a rough race for those drivers, but with only 9 runners remaining, they will both score points as long as they can finish another few laps. Here's VTEC. He's dropped back to about a 2-second gap now. So perhaps the dirty air starting to come into effect. Although now he's starting to close the gap up to about 1 second. Shelly the Turtle up to 26 seconds of penalties, so it's got to be nearing disqualification for that. Another thing to keep an eye out on as we near the last few laps of the race. Secret could be close to a 3-second penalty. That's not something we'll be able to know at the moment. But just now 4 laps to go. And VTEC's got to have a sense of urgency at the moment. I see. Oh, is that Skadster's gone around at the chicane? And he was having a very good result in his McLaren. But that's going to allow SC Smith and Johnny to go through. They were going to get through on penalties either way. And now SC Smith on pace for a podium tonight. After the up and down race that he's had, he's put in some very good pace and now on track for a podium. Johnny will be on for a very good 4th place finish. Skadster should be able to maintain 5th place as well. Let's get back up to the battle for the lead. VTEC hasn't been able to close within that 1 second gap until just about now. So he's within that range where a mistake by Secret could see him find a way through. And then it's just a matter of clearing that gap, which is not out of the question. These two drivers have seemed to be the class of the field tonight. Fitting that they'll be battling it out in the last 3 laps of this race for the win. Just 3 laps remaining. keep an eye on this battle, as I believe most of the other positions are pretty much set in stone besides the final podium position, which we will also keep an eye on secondarily. But this is for the race win. I don't think VTEC's going to be able to make up 6 seconds within 1 or 2 laps, so he's going to have to get by on this time around. Secret seems to be running fairly well, and I don't think he's on for a mistake. You see K-Dog having an issue out of Portier. Manages to keep it going though. Oh, and Secret, it's just about gone into the wall. Manages to save it though, so he's still able to hang on to first. That could have been very bad. You can see he's pushing so close to the wall. If he was to pick up wing damage here, that would be catastrophic. And he seems to be struggling for pace at the moment. Has he picked up wing damage? No, he seems to be okay, but here's VTEC. Is he going to make it through here? Plays it safe, which could be right the move at the moment. Secret struggling to get the traction down. Oh, and VTEC's gone in the wall. And that's surely going to be it. As you can see, even though the end plate looks fine, you can see the understeer through the first couple of corners. So that has just relieved the pressure for Secret ahead. It was an intense fight for almost the entire second half of the race. But looks like Secret is going to just about hang on. We're now on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Secret has run a fantastic race from start to finish. And he just got to bring it home this last trip around the Principality. Here they come through the final couple of corners to the start-finish stripe for the final time. 1 lap to go here in Monaco. Secret is the race leader and just needs to make it around unscathed. Johnny has dropped off the back of S.C. Smith. He knows he's not going to be able to gain that position, so he's just about keeping it clean. So we'll follow along with Secret. He's seen all of his competitors make mistakes and he's kept it clean. And he's going to be rewarded here. The yellow flag, that is Shelley having another issue at Portier. Everything seems to be working out okay. Shelley going to stay out of the way here through the Nouvelle chicane for the final time. Just Secret just about into the wall, but he keeps it clean. Through to back for the final time. Oh, and VTEC's had another issue. He's kept it clean. He's kept it going. I think he's going to be able to hold on to second place. But that's going to leave Just Secret out. Just got to round Rascas for the final time. And what was a grueling race in Monaco in the rain. Around the final corner, we see Just Secret will pick up the win here in Monaco. Second place is going to be VTEC. It was a strong pace tonight for him, but just not quite enough. S.C. Smith waves back in third. Shelley the Turtle crosses the line to finish 8th. What was an up and down race for S.C. Smith? Will wind up in a solid podium result for him after showing that good pace in qualifying. And through the final corner now. Up the line, S.C. Smith will take home 3rd place tonight, followed by Johnny taking home 4th. What was a very solid result for him. Here's Scatster in 5th. He had some strong pace tonight, but was just not able to do enough. Still 5th place, a very solid result. And Jacob Motorsports will be the final car to cross the line. Monkey Mafia did cross to finish 7th and K-Dog to finish 9th. But that will conclude it here tonight for Tier 2 at Monaco. It was a very entertaining race, lots of action. And we see wet Monaco for the first time in league history. VTech picking up drive of the day and what was a strong drive for him. I will take one last look through the final results. Secret takes on the win, VTech 2nd, SC Smith 3rd, Johnny 4th, Scadser, Jacob, Monkey, Shelley, K-Dog, Highways, Spaceman, Leclerc, and Chris Money rounds out the field. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll catch you for Tier 1 shortly.